Now at 10, a single mother beats the odds. How she went from a high school dropout to a teen mom and now soon to be law school graduate.
Also, neighbors frustrated by no parking signs suddenly popping up on their streets. We verify who's putting them up and whether this is legal.
And while everyone speculates about the royal wedding guest list, the couple announces today 2 high-profile families who won't be invited.
First tonight, we learned a whole lot more money is coming to Houston for Hurricane Harvey victims.
Houston and Harris County received more than $2 billion combined from the federal government, but right now it's wrapped up in red tape.
And it could be months before anyone sees a dime. Larry Siebert is live to explain what exactly is the holdup with all this money tonight. Larry?
Well, Lynn, this has nothing to do with FEMA. It is the beginning of long-term help from the U.S. Housing Department that requires months of planning to spend.
Texans slapped red by loss from Hurricane Harvey scored $5 billion from HUD, money for home reconstruction, buyouts, repair improvements, help with utility and rent. Unlike FEMA money, this is supposed to buy permanent affordable homes for working families struggling.
They're school teachers, they're nurses, they're first-year firefighters or police officers.
Of those stranded for weeks after the storm in GRB's emergency shelter, 33 landed new apartments through New Hope Harrisburg. Hayden Johnson lost all of his belongings and wants little more than a job to buy his own place. But he's skeptical of HUD's promise.
Hopefully it helps. And hopefully they stand by their word.
So is Charles London. Floodwater shifted the foundation and wrecked the inside of his place in Kashmir Gardens. The house and $5,000 check from FEMA are in his mother's name, but she died before the storm, along with his wife and brother. So London can't afford repairs or empty promises.
It sounds good, but I got to see it. You know, words, you can say what you want to say, but until I see it, I believe it.
Harris County and Houston each get over $1 billion. Over the next 2 or 3 months, staff will meet with those who need it the most, then decide who gets what in the fall, over a year after Harvey.
But this isn't go up and slap some paint on a home and kind of just get it livable.
City Housing Director Tom McCaslin sees a chance to help victims get ahead.
So that people are beginning to build wealth in their household and are bouncing forward, as the mayor says, as opposed to just recovering from Harvey.
While he believes Houston could transform, victims hope he's right.
Distribution for that money is going to come through the city of Houston for Houstonians. Houston is getting about 10 times what it got after Hurricane Ike, and this time officials say the wait for the money is actually much shorter. Live in 5th Ward, standing for Houston, Larry Siebert, KHOU 11 News.
Some really good news to people's ears. Thanks so much, Larry. All right, do you recognize this guy? Houston police need your help finding him after he yanked a woman to the ground during a violent purse snatching. Take a look at the surveillance video. It happened outside a pawn shop on South Post Oak at West Orem. That's in Southwest Houston. The victim suffered some bruises, but nothing serious. If you recognize the thief, you know what to do. Contact Houston Police.
Tonight, I-45 near New Waverly is back open after a crash involving a double-decker bus that left 2 people dead. The crash happened on 45 near Shepherd's Hill, that is right on the Montgomery County and Walker County line. Investigators say it appears the driver of the red SUV was headed north, but for some unknown reason crossed over into southbound traffic, hitting the double-decker megabus head-on. A silver car was also hit. The driver of that car and the driver of the SUV were killed. The megabus was full of passengers. Only 2 had minor injuries.
Everybody was bracing themselves for it. So we saw it happened really, really fast. We thought we were going to flip, but thank God the bus driver knew what she was doing.
Wow. Moments before that crash, drivers had called police saying there was a reckless driver in the area. State troopers still trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Police are still trying to find the man who shot and wounded a mother who was sleeping in a room with her children. It happened at the Gulfton Apartments in Southwest Houston. A nearby surveillance camera captured the man lurking near the victim's window. The shooting happens off screen here, but you can see the man running away. The victim was shot in the leg, but luckily none of her children were hurt. The kids are so shaken up, however, they are staying with relatives tonight. More than 30 sets of human remains will eventually be removed very carefully from the construction site of a new school in Sugar Land. Crews made the startling discovery a few days ago. At first, they thought it was just a few skeletons, but they soon found out 150 to 200 years ago, this land used to be a cemetery.
Initially, we thought we had a couple of bones. Then it was determined that we had a couple of skeletons. And as the days progressed, it became evident that we had a full-out cemetery that was organized, and so we're trying to understand what all that means in the process. But
in the meantime, construction around the gravesite will continue. Fort Bend ISD is building a new career and technical education center here. They hope to unveil it in the fall of 2019.
Tonight, a Texas Border Patrol agent is facing 2 counts of capital murder. This is 28-year-old Ronald Anthony Burgess Aviles. He's accused of killing his girlfriend and her 1-year-old son. Their bodies were found in some brush yesterday along the Rio Grande River in Laredo. Police say Aviles claimed to have found the bodies. He's being held without bond, and police are not saying anything about a motive.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will return to Capitol Hill in the morning. Today, he apologized for failing to protect the data of 87 million users.
It will take some time to work through all the changes we need to make across the company, but I'm committed to getting this right.
The information was harvested by an app that claimed to be a personality quiz. It was later sold to a political consulting firm that worked for the Donald Trump presidential campaign. Zuckerberg says by the end of the year, 20,000 employees will be devoted to security and content review. Another headline about security tonight, Zuckerberg predicted in 5 to 10 years, Facebook will have the artificial intelligence technology in place to flag and remove hate speech before it's even posted.
All right, let's jump outside and show you the weather. Very mild and a beautiful looking downtown Houston. And we're going to continue to warm up until.
David Paul, what's the scenario?
There's another big cold front coming. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. It is a beautiful evening, and it was this kind of a day. Gorgeous at Space Center Houston. Blue sky, sunshine. Watch one more time. Watch the golden hour. There it comes. Oh, it was nice this evening. So here's the deal. In the morning, it will be a little bit chilly. 51, 52 at Houston and Hobby Airport. Sugar Land 52 in the morning. Cleveland 49. And Beaumont at 52 and Pearland at 54. So jackets in the morning, and then it's a t-shirt and sunglasses tomorrow afternoon. Highs near 80 across the board. So how much longer will this spectacular weather last? We'll talk about that, the big cold front, the weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Tonight, a lot of people are frustrated about new no parking signs that have been popping up in the Woodcrest area. That is just north of Rice Military. And they want to know why. So we set out to verify what's going on. We got our answers from Houston Mayor Pro Tem Ellen Cohen's office. She's the city council representative over that district. Now, one rumor is that Harvey eroded the streets in the area, making them too fragile to handle parking. So we asked and found out that is not the case. Cohen's office says residents often contact 311 because they find street parking to be a problem. That's when the Transportation and Drainage Operations Division then investigates. Often they uncover the roads are too narrow for emergency vehicles to pass, so they'll put up no parking signs. That's a law that's been on the books for ages now. So we can verify all the new no parking signs aren't due to Harvey, but rather narrow roads.
Still ahead, a single mother gives props to her children in a graduation photo going viral.
Response, it was all worth it. If God can use this as a platform for me to inspire others, for him to get through, I'm all for it.
Oh, and she is inspiring how this Houston mom beat the odds after a rough upbringing to make her dreams come true.
On the other hand, what's your take on this graduation photo? The mixed reaction this senior is getting after posing with a gun in her pants.
And a Texas man wants to show off his collection of stuffed wildlife, but his neighbors are saying, hold on just a minute.